So today's challenge is a donation request from Jay, and it is die rise around 100, which is something I've attempted a long time ago in like October of 2023. So it's been nearly 2 years since I have tried this, but since die rise is a fairly simple map for high rounds, I was still pretty confident I'd be able to get this around 100 since I already knew what the strategy was, and I have done it before even though it has been a while. Basically, all you really need is to get the Sliquifier, a good automatic weapon with a lot of ammo for mainly just insta-kills, and then Galvanuckles for melee killing the jumping jacks so that you can get free perks whenever you need to because it's way more annoying to do it with just a regular knife. And then on my first attempt, I ended up dying on round 2 while trying to build the trample steam, which looking back at this, I really don't know why I was even bothering with building this, since you really only need it if you're going to try to play past round 100, and since I'm not playing past round 100, I really don't know why I was building this. Basically, when you get to round 100, the Sliquifier starts two-hitting, so you have to kill with the trample steam, but like I said, I'm not playing past round 100. I don't really know why I was bothering wasting time building this thing, so yeah, I don't know. I didn't even really end up using the trample steam like at all. And since I didn't know if I had points in the bank, I didn't bother going for it, and I just went for Galvanuckles as soon as I possibly could, and then I just used them to build up points to go buy perks and pack punch the AN-94 since that was the gun I was going to use since it's on the wall, it's good, and it has a lot of ammo. After spending a couple rounds building up points, I went and turned on the power and bought Jug and built the Sliquifier and got double tap. And I gotta say, the perks being in elevators that move pretty randomly is probably my least favorite thing about this entire map because having to rely on an elevator which moves randomly to even traverse the map and get perks is just so annoying. And a little bit later, I got enough to pack punch the AN-94, which I planned on using to camp for early rounds and using it on insta-kills later on in the game. And then I also bought Claymores and Simtexes just because I thought they might help out a little bit later in the game. And so now it was time to start the strategy, which is literally just standing right here and on early rounds shooting the AN-94, and then later just shooting the Sliquifier, which is one of the big reasons I don't high round this map often at all. I just really dislike camping strats and find them extremely boring. And in fact, I find them so boring that I've literally done transit round 100 and never done die rise or revelations or any of the other maps where you can basically just sit in a corner and get to round 100 really fast. And I then remembered later that for the high rounds, you should always go to the other building and shoot this sign with like a full mag of your Sliquifier because it unpatches the gun. Now, I don't think it actually fully unpatches it. I'm pretty sure it just makes it chain better. But if you're curious about it, then I know there are videos out there that explain it like fully in detail. I have never really done much research on it because I don't really play die rise, but I'm pretty sure it just makes the thing chain like better or more consistently. But I know that there are videos out there that explain it better. I just don't personally know that much about it. And I also hit the box a few times to try and get monkeys because they're really helpful to pick up power-ups, and also if I was to go down later in the game, they could help me recover. But I got pretty much nothing good from the box, and I didn't want to hit it too many times because I couldn't remember if fire sales were like an actual power-up that you can get on this map, and I didn't want to risk moving the box and having them be in my drop cycle, so I just decided to stop hitting it and that monkeys weren't going to be something I'd go for. And this strategy is pretty easy. You literally just shoot the wall and the Sliquifier chains and kills everything and nothing can really get to you. So yeah, you literally just stand still for like pretty much the entire game. The only part of the strategy that can be difficult is picking up the power-ups because sometimes they'll spawn in places that you can't just jump right up to, and the Sliquifier shot can make you slip around and not be able to get up there easily, so it's very possible to miss power-ups which can screw your whole game up in the later rounds. And if you'll notice, I wasn't getting the extra perks at first, and that's because I was still debating in my head if I even wanted to go for Who's Who, since going down with it means I'd have to revive myself in this area down here while having no perks or guns. So I was just taking some time to try and like debate in my head if it was even worth it. And when I finally did get a free perk, it ended up being Speed Cola, so I was happy with that. And for now, I just didn't want to get Who's Who because I just wasn't sure if I would really have any use for it at all. And since this area has such fast spawns, insta-kills here are extremely nice, and even on these early rounds when the spawns aren't that fast, they'll still get you a ton of kills and speed up the round by a lot. But for the most part, there really isn't much to show since I'm mainly just sitting here in this corner shooting a slug of fire shot every now and then. And the only time anything other than that happens is when occasionally a zombie will get through the shot, and then I usually just kill with the AN-94 on these early rounds. But yeah, this strategy is pretty easy. And the Fire has 50 shots, and you only need to shoot like every 30 seconds, and there's jumping jack rounds every 4 to 5 rounds, so ammo really doesn't become a problem for a long time unless you miss a max ammo because you're not able to grab it. And after a little under an hour into the game, I hit round 40 and still had 0 downs, so it was actually looking good like this first attempt could be the round 100 game. And round 41 ended up being a jumping jack round, and I decided to actually get Who's Who this time because I realized if I went down and then lost Quick Revive, I wouldn't be able to buy it back since I have the Tombstone perma perk, which means I'll go down and lose only Quick Revive, like I'll still keep all my other perks when I get up. So I would already have 4, which meant I'd have to get it back from the jumping jacks, and since I wouldn't have Who's Who either, that would mean I'd be guaranteed to either get Quick Revive or Who's Who, which basically would just mean I have a 50-50 shot. So I might as well just get Who's Who and take the chance that maybe I'll be able to get a revive off and keep Quick Revive. If not, then my Quick Revive will revive me in the Who's Who state and I'll lose both. And it's then a 50-50 shot whether or not I'll get Quick Revive back from the next jumping jack round. So there was really just no point to not get Who's Who. Then on round 49, I had a pretty scary moment where I got red screened from 2 zombies that managed to get through the Slug of Fire bullets, and I thought it was only 1 zombie, but I shot them with the Slug of Fire in time, and I ended up being completely fine. A little bit later, I got a max ammo, and it spawned right above my head, so I just kind of spammed all my ammo, thinking I could jump up and grab the max ammo, and then when I realized that I actually couldn't grab it, I was completely panicking because I just used almost all of my ammo. So I jumped up to the little area, grabbed a nuke, and still wasn't able to grab the max ammo because the nuke zombies were blocking me. And I was literally fighting for my life to try and grab this max ammo. And after all the time trying to grab it, I just couldn't get it. And I got so mad when that happened that I just kind of punched my keyboard. And then when I did that, I ended up opening up Task Manager, Microsoft Edge, the Xbox Game Bar, a notepad, and then a couple other things. So I basically completely screwed myself. It doesn't show me opening those in the recording because I have it set to only game capture, so it only shows the game. But I was not able to close all of those in time. So I basically just had to stare at my screen trying to spam close a bunch of stuff while trying to save myself, and so I just completely died. I went down, put me into Who's Who, and I still wasn't able to close all those things out. So my first game ended on round 49 because I opened a bunch of random stuff on my computer when I hit the keys. So on to attempt 2. And yeah, a couple hours later, I started a new game, and after doing the whole setup again, this time I did use the bank a little bit though, so I just started doing the exact same strategy, but this time the setup was, I guess, a little bit easier. And just skipping ahead to round 34, where 2 zombies got through the Fire shots and killed me, made me go into Who's Who, and then I just instantly quit the game because I didn't want to deal with going down that early. So now, on to attempt number 3. And on my next game, I once again am doing the exact same strategy as I've always been doing, just hoping to not make a stupid mistake again, and on round 17, I nearly made the exact same mistake as last time, but ended up being fine, thankfully. And I'm just going to skip through a lot of this game because I've explained most of the stuff I need to explain. In the majority of this footage, there isn't really much going on. It's literally just sitting there, shooting the slug of fire every now and then, or just spamming the AN-94 on an insta-kill. So I'm really not sure what I can include of this because it is literally just me standing, shooting, and staring at a wall. But on round 46, I nearly died trying to grab an insta-kill because the zombies around it blocked me from getting it, and a zombie dropped down to me without me realizing, but I was able to shoot it with the slug of fire before it could kill me, and then I was able to grab the insta-kill and then just start spamming the AN-94. And then once again on round 49, I got a max ammo that I thought would be very easy to grab, but when I went to grab it, I was just getting blocked repeatedly by zombies slipping into me, and I tried grabbing the insta-kill, but it was just out of my reach, and then luckily I was able to get up there and grab the max ammo, and if I would have gotten blocked trying to get a max ammo on 49, 2 different games, I probably would have just quit this entirely. But a little bit after that, I hit round 50, and this is probably my first round 50 on Die Rise in nearly 2 years, but obviously the job is not even close to done yet. I still have the majority of the game left to get to round 100. And then I hit round 56, which probably seems irrelevant, but I'm pretty sure this round is actually where the spawn rate max out on BO2. So it basically just means the zombie's spawning speed is as fast as it'll get for the entire game. So my Slickfire shots and in skills can be used to their maximum potential now, which is good. And you can just see in this gameplay how fast the spawns are with this insta-kill. I'm still getting pushed back, even with an AN94 on an insta-kill. But also on the insta-kill, I'm probably getting like 100 kills because of how fast the zombies spawn in, and I'm just able to spam them all basically as soon as they get into the map. And round 59 ended up being a jumping jack round, and since I don't need any perks, I can pretty much just shoot them, and these are literally free rounds that are over in like 20 seconds, and I just get a max ammo, so they're just really quick, and I hit round 60, no problem, still with 0 downs. And later on, at the end of round 61, when I had just one zombie left, I didn't want to use a Slickfire shot on just one zombie, so I was going to jump up and just kill it with the AN94 by spamming headshots and maybe using the claymores, but I nearly died while trying to do that. But I was able to just kill it with the AN94, and that was just a dumb, unnecessary risk. I don't really know why I was being so cautious with my ammo in only the 60s. Realistically, you shouldn't have any ammo problems until like the 80s or 90s, if that. And then some zombies dropped onto me and hit me a couple times, and then one dropped down behind me, which I don't think is even supposed to happen, and it red screened me, but luckily no others dropped down, so I ended up fine. And then finally, after about an hour and 45 minutes into the game, I got to round 70, which is a new best for me for Die Rise, so I was pretty happy about that. And at the beginning of round 74, while trying to start a chain of Slickfire shots at the start of the round, a zombie got to me. When I shot it with the Slickfire, it kind of blocked my view, and I didn't see a second zombie that ran up to me and killed me and put me into Who's Who for my first down of the entire game. And after going into Who's Who, I waited at the top for like just a little bit to try and train up the horde and then drop down and revive myself, but nothing seemed to be spawning in up there, so I just went into the elevator shaft to see what was going on and realized that my body was literally being camped, and I had no chance of reviving myself at all, so I just needed to wait it out and have my quick revive eventually revive me. And when that happened, I spawned right in the horde, and they immediately just pushed me down the elevator shaft, which means I need to run to the other building, wait for an elevator to get to the roof, then from the roof run all the way back over here and continue the strategy. And that was going pretty badly pretty much instantly, with me nearly getting trapped in the power room. Then I noticed the pack bunch elevator was here, so all I needed to do was get the full horde, wait for the elevator to be ready to go up, and then I should be fine. And when it was ready, I ran straight onto it and the horde followed me, so I just had to spam all my Slickfire shots that I could and hope it would kill them all without me having to use like all my ammo. And it worked pretty well. I got rid of them all. The elevator took me straight up the roof, and I actually didn't have to use that much ammo. And then once I got to the roof, I ran straight from there to the other building, jumped to it with the elevator shaft, and just went straight down it and continued the strategy that I had been doing this entire game. But because I had to use some ammo recovering from that down, I was very, very low on ammo when I got back to the camping spot, so I was really, really hoping for that 4-round cycle of jumping jacks, since the last round I had them was 71, because I really need that max ammo, and most of all, I really needed the free perk and had to hope that it was quick revive. And about a minute later, when I ended the round with only 12 shots left, and the game was on my side, thankfully, and gave me the 4-round cycle that I desperately needed, but in the excitement of getting lucky with that, I forgot to melee the jumping jacks, so I didn't get the free perk, and I just felt like a complete idiot because now I can't get quick revive or even Who's Who. And because of that, it means I'll have to play to either round 79 or even round 80 without going down again, since I can't get a free perk until then because I messed up and forgot to melee. But things were going fine until round 78, where after getting an insta-kill, I shot the Slickfire and a zombie got through and nearly killed me, but I was able to kill it in time and make sure no others got to me. And then once again, the game was on my side with me getting another 4-round cycle for jumping jacks and actually getting quick revive instead of Who's Who, so it was just the absolute perfect luck. And that also means that I hit round 80, which is kills-wise about halfway to round 100 or maybe a little more. So I was pretty happy with that. This was still going pretty well, and I was really hoping to get that round 100. And now I'm just going to show how long the rounds were taking. At round 81 when it started, I was about 2 hours, 17 minutes, and 30 seconds into the game. And then when I got through the round, I was like 2 hours, 21 minutes, and about 40 seconds into the game. So the round only took a little over 4 minutes, which for the 80s is pretty fast, especially compared to a lot of other round 100s that I've done. And then going to round 83, where I got blessed with another 4 round cycle, and it was jumping jacks again, and I got who's who because it didn't matter if I got it or not, since either way I was going to have that 50-50 chance of getting quick revive when I went down. So I got who's who, and that was 3 4 round cycles in a row, which is pretty rare and just really, really lucky. And then on round 85, after an insta-kill ended, I was trying to start getting back to shooting the liquefier, and a bunch of zombies just got through it and killed me. And this time, I didn't even bother waiting at the top of the place because I assumed none of the zombies were going to spawn up there, and they would just camp my body anyway. And then after sitting down there, just kind of staring at them and none of them doing anything, I thought that they may have just been glitched out and they wouldn't move at all, so I did the complete dumbest thing possible and dropped down to them because I thought I'd have a free revive and that they were glitched, and they pretty much just instantly jumped up to me, and then some even respawned in the little room when I ran into it and blocked me, and I died on round 85, failing the round 100 because of a mixture of who's who being a piece of shit perk and also my decision making just being equally as bad. And so that was me attempting round 100 on Die Rise, and I really, really thought I'd be able to get it because it's just such an easy brain dead strategy, but I guess all it takes is a really dumb decision and a really dumb perk. But thanks for watching, and never buy Who's Who because, I mean, that thing is just horrible.